A 50-pound block of pure water ice, cut from a frozen lake in February and stored in a sawdust-insulated barn, will hold its temperature for over 6 months in any climate, anywhere in the United States. Wrapped in burlap, buried in straw, untouched. In 1935, the Iceman delivered one of those blocks to the average American household every 5 days for 25 cents. The block went into a wooden cabinet beside the kitchen sink. That cabinet kept 5 days of milk, butter, eggs, meat, fish, leftovers, and produced at 38 degrees Fahrenheit, with no electricity, no motor, no refrigerant, no noise, no service contract. $3 to build the cabinet. 25 cents every 5 days for the ice. About $18 a year total for refrigeration. In modern money, less than $400 annually for the same job your $600 electric bill is doing right now. Every American kitchen had one. The Iceman came down the street in every neighborhood, in every city, in every state. The system worked from the colonial period through the end of the Second World War. Then, almost overnight, it was gone. Replaced by an appliance that cost 10 times as much, last half as long, and required a permanent connection to the electrical grid. Not because the Icebox stopped working. Because something more profitable arrived. The American refrigeration industry generates $30 billion a year in the United States alone. Globally, the household refrigerator market exceeds $120 billion. Whirlpool, GE Appliances, LG, and Samsung control over 70% of that revenue. 4 corporations, one product in your kitchen. The average new refrigerator costs between $2,000 and $4,000. A high-end model with smart features and an ice maker can exceed $8,000. The average American home replaces its refrigerator every 10 to 15 years, sometimes sooner. The compressor fails, the seal goes, the control board burns out, the Freon line cracks. None of it can be repaired by the homeowner. All of it requires a certified technician at $150 an hour, or a full replacement. Then there is the electricity. The average household refrigerator draws between $400 and $600 worth of power every year. A side-by-side model with an ice maker and water dispenser draws closer to $700. That is roughly 15% of the total electric bill in a typical American home, for one appliance. Running 24 hours a day, every day, for its entire service life. Add it together, $2,500 to buy. $500 a year to operate. 12 years to failure. Then, a replacement. Over a 30-year mortgage, the length of time most families live in one home. The refrigerator costs over $15,000 in purchase and electricity alone. That number does not include repairs. It does not include replacement. It does not include the disposal fee for the old unit's refrigerant. The Depression-era Icebox cost $3 to build, $18 a year to operate, and lasted 40 years. It had no compressor, no electrical connection, no refrigerant, no control board, no service contract, no moving parts of any kind, no warranty because it did not need one, no replacement cycle because it did not break. No power bill because it consumed no power. It was the most efficient refrigeration system the average American household has ever owned. And the entire industry that replaced it depends on one thing that you never find out it existed. In 1913, the first electric household refrigerator was sold in America. It cost $900. The average American family earned around $600 a year. For 3 decades, almost nobody bought one. The Icebox remained the dominant cold storage system in over 90% of American homes through the entire Great Depression and into the Second World War. Then came 1945. The war ended. Factories that had been making bombers and tank engines were converted, almost overnight, to producing consumer appliances. General Electric, Frigidaire, Kelvinator, and Westinghouse were sitting on enormous post-war manufacturing capacity, and a generation of returning soldiers eager to start households. The problem was simple. Most of those households already had a working Icebox. In 1947, a coordinated marketing agreement was signed between the 4 largest American appliance manufacturers and the National Electric Light Association. The goal was explicit. Move every American home from Icebox to electric refrigerator within 10 years. The mechanism was a combined advertising budget that, by 1955, exceeded $200 million annually. Adjusted for inflation, that is over $2.5 billion in today's money. Spent in a single year. To replace one wooden cabinet, the campaign worked through 3 channels. Television and radio advertising painted the Icebox as old-fashioned, unsanitary, and rural. Home economics textbooks, many of them funded directly by appliance manufacturers, were rewritten between 1948 and 1958 to remove all instruction on icebox use. And local utility companies, who profited from every refrigerator plugged into their grid, offered subsidies and rebates on electric units while quietly pressuring municipalities to phase out commercial ice delivery routes. By 1955, the Iceman was gone from most American cities. By 1960, the wooden icebox was gone from nearly every kitchen. Not banned outright, just never mentioned again in any home economics textbook printed after that year. The United States Department of Agriculture published a 1942 study titled Storage of Perishable Foods in the Home Without Mechanical Refrigeration. It documented that a properly insulated icebox held food at 38 degrees Fahrenheit, identical to the average home refrigerator of the same era, with no electrical input. The study was peer-reviewed. It was published. It was filed in the USDA archives, and it was never cited again in any consumer publication after 1948. Mohammed Ba-Abba, a Nigerian teacher, won the Rolex Award for Enterprise in 2001 for reintroducing the same physical principle. Evaporative cooling in a clay pot design that kept produce fresh for weeks in regions without electricity. His invention was celebrated internationally. The same principle had been working in American kitchens for 200 years, and was by then almost completely forgotten. The Depression-era cold storage system had 3 layers. Each one used a different physical principle. Together, they covered everything from a glass of milk on a hot July afternoon to a cured ham in February. Here is exactly what each one was, how it worked, and how to build a working version in your own home this weekend. Component 1. The wooden icebox. The icebox was a cabinet, usually made of oak or pine, lined on the inside with zinc or galvanized tin. Between the inner metal lining and the outer wooden shell was a layer of insulation, typically cork, sawdust, or ground charcoal. The cabinet had 2 compartments. The upper compartment, accessed through a small top door, held a 50-pound block of ice. The lower compartment, accessed through 1 or 2 front doors, held the food. The physics is simple. Cold air sinks. Heat rises. Ice in the upper compartment chilled the air around it. That cold air dropped into the lower compartment and pooled there, holding the food at roughly 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Warm air rising from the food drifted up to the ice, where it was chilled again. The cycle ran continuously, with no fan, no motor, no electricity. The ice slowly melted. The meltwater drained through a small pipe into a pan beneath the cabinet, which was emptied daily, to build a modern version. Take any insulated chest cooler, the kind sold at any hardware store for $30 to $50. Cut a partition shelf 2/3 of the way up the inside, with a 1-inch gap on each side for cold air to flow downward. The shelf can be cut from a sheet of food-grade plastic or marine-grade plywood. Drill 4 small drainage holes along the back edge to let condensation run downward. Place a 5-gallon insulated jug, frozen solid, in the upper compartment above the shelf. Place food on the lower shelf in sealed glass jars or covered ceramic crocks for best temperature stability. Drain the meltwater from the cooler's plug every 12 hours. The cooler should sit in the coolest room of the house, away from direct sunlight and heat sources. The system holds at 38 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 to 7 days on a single frozen jug. Cost, $40 total. Operating cost. Nothing if you freeze the jug in winter and store it in a shaded outbuilding. About $1 a week if you freeze it in your kitchen freezer. The original icebox lasted 40 to 60 years. The modern cooler version lasts 20. Either way, the entire purchase price of one new refrigerator pays for 50 years of icebox operation. Component 2. The spring house. In any rural American home before 1945, if a natural spring or cold creek ran through the property, the spring house was the second tier of cold storage. A small stone or concrete structure was built directly over the running water. The water flowed through a shallow cut into the floor. Crocks of milk, butter, cream, and cheese were placed directly into that flowing water. The temperature held at 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. The science is groundwater thermodynamics. Water that is filtered through soil to a depth of 8 feet or more reaches a stable temperature equal to the average annual air temperature of that region. In most of the continental United States, that number is between 50 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The water carries that temperature to the surface. A continuously flowing stream cools any object placed in it through direct conduction. with no electrical input. To build a modern version. If a basement or crawl space exists with cool, stable temperatures below 60 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, that space functions as a partial spring house. A simple shelving unit holding sealed glass jars of butter, hard cheese, eggs and mineral oil, and root vegetables will preserve those items for weeks at no cost. If a creek or natural spring runs across the property, a stone-lined channel 2 feet wide and 8 inches deep will hold sealed crocks at groundwater temperature with zero infrastructure cost. Remember, a modern refrigerator runs $500 a year. A spring house runs nothing. Asterisk Component 3. The Zeer pot. The Zeer pot, also called a pot-in-pot cooler, was the system used in American homes that did not have access to ice delivery or running spring water. 2 unglazed terracotta pots, one inside the other, with the gap between them filled with wet sand. The outer pot is left bare. The inner pot is covered with a damp cloth or wooden lid. The physics is evaporative cooling. As water evaporates from the wet sand and the outer pot's surface, it draws heat energy out of the inner pot. In a dry climate, this temperature drop is dramatic. In Sudan, where Mohammed Ba'aba documented his version in the 1990s, internal temperatures dropped to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, while external air temperatures exceeded 100. In drier American regions, including the Southwest, Mountain West, and Great Plains, the same effect produces a 15 to 25 degree drop below ambient temperature. To build one, buy 2 unglazed terracotta planter pots from any garden center. The outer pot should be roughly 14 inches in diameter. The inner pot should fit inside with a 1.5 inch gap on all sides. Plug the drainage holes with cork or food-safe sealant. Fill the gap between the 2 pots with clean sand. Saturate the sand with water. Place vegetables, fruit, eggs, or sealed dairy in the inner pot. Cover with a damp cloth. Re-wet the sand once a day. Total cost, $12 at a hardware store. Operating cost, about 2 gallons of water per week. The system extends produce shelf life from 3 days to 2 weeks in any region with humidity below 60%. The 3 components together replaced every cooling appliance in a typical American home. The Icebox handled daily perishables. The spring house or basement handled bulk dairy and root vegetables. The Zeer pot handled produce in dry climates and acted as a backup when ice delivery was delayed. 3 systems, less than $50 in modern materials, 0 electricity. 0 monthly bills. The conventional system in your kitchen costs $15,000 over its lifetime. This system costs less than $50. Walk into any traditional homestead in Holmes County, Ohio today, and you will find a wooden icebox in the kitchen. Not as a museum piece, as a working appliance. The ice is cut from a pond in January, packed into a straw-insulated ice house beside the barn, and used through the entire summer. The same system has been running there since the 1800s in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Every traditional farmhouse has a basement with stone walls and a packed earth floor. Crocks of milk, butter, and meat sit on wooden shelves at 52 degrees Fahrenheit every day of the year. No electricity is used to maintain that temperature. The ground itself does the work. The Persians built ice houses called yakchals in the year 400 BC. Massive conical adobe structures that stored ice through the brutal heat of the Iranian desert summer. Some of those structures still stand today. 2,400 years of continuous operation. No moving parts. The Chinese were storing winter ice in straw-lined pits during the Zhou dynasty, more than 2,000 years ago. The Romans built ice pits in the foothills of the Alps and shipped snow to the city by mule. Every major civilization that left written records developed some version of this system, because every major civilization understood the same simple physics. Cold travels downward, insulation slows it. Evaporation cools surfaces. None of those facts have changed. For 200 years, an American family kept food cold for less than $20 a year. Today, that same family pays $500 annually for the privilege of doing the same job, slightly faster, with an appliance that will fail in a decade. The physics never changed. Only who profited from the cooling did. For less than $50, using an insulated cooler, 2 terracotta pots, and the cold space already inside your basement or crawl space, you can replace the daily work your refrigerator is doing right now. Starting this weekend. The same physics that kept American kitchens cold for 2 centuries will keep your milk, your butter, your meat, and your produce at 38 degrees Fahrenheit, with no electrical bill attached. The Complete Depression-era household manual, including exact limits for wooden ice box build, the spring house design used in 19th century American homesteads, and a full pot-and-pot cooler specification is linked in the description below. Every formula your great-grandmother used, in one place. Tomorrow, this channel will show you the $0 trash and waste system that every American family used before 1955, and why the $80 billion waste management industry spent decades making sure you forgot it existed. Every product in your home once had a $0 version. They buried it. Now you know.